One of the advantages of living in the Southwest and having an SUV is you get to visit old ghost towns like this. Actually, there used to be several thousand people living here, with a post office and everything. Next to the mine on top of the hill, that is. Here's the old general manager's house built in the 1880s. Not much left. And these steps lead to the owner's house. What's left of it anyway. And trust me, you really don't want to go in there. I have, and there's some weird creatures living in there. Yes, there are bags of gold ore in there. They've been there for like 100 years, but there's also about 100 rattlesnakes in there that I don't wish to tangle with, so I'll pass. But I don't mind tangling with this, the 2016 Mazda CX-5. We'll be doing a performance and fuel economy test to see how it compares to last year's model. Oh, by the way, if you decide to come out to this ghost town, make sure you visit the cemetery, especially at midnight with the full moon. This is the 2016 Mazda CX-5, in this case the upgraded Grand Touring model. It's said to have a lot of improvements over the older 2015 model, which we'll show you. It's gotten a slight cosmetic facelift on the outside, as we can see from the front. And on the rear. Inside we get a new interior. The new touch screen there is a lot larger, making it easier to operate. Now, one of the things I liked about the previous model were the simple knobs on the dash. That's been changed. Fortunately, we get simple knobs and controls for the climate control, but for everything else we have a master panel here, a main knob with buttons around. It's a little more complex to learn, of course, but once you learn it, it's simple to use. And as a bonus, this is basically the same type of thing you get on the upgraded cars, like Audi, Lexus, Infiniti. So to get something like this in this low price range is a good selling feature. And over here you have the aggressive sport mode for quicker driving, although you get paddle shifters on the steering wheel as well. There's also an electronic parking brake now, which some people will appreciate. And performance and economy starts under the hood. The base engine is a 2.0 liter, putting out 155 horsepower and made it to a 6-speed manual transmission. For more performance, you have the 2.5 liter, rated 184 horsepower. It gets 26 to 33 in front wheel drive, at least according to the window sticker, and 24 to 30 if you order the optional all-wheel drive. And the transmission is a 6-speed automatic with normal or sport modes. We'll be taking this out on the road to give you the real fuel consumption figures. Many of the parts on the CX-5 are borrowed from the Mazda 6 Sport sedan, and it shows. You've got crisp steering, great throttle response, flat cornering, and strong brakes. This car loves to be driven, and driven hard, especially if you put it in the sport mode. Now let's take a ride in the Mazda during night driving and see how these headlights perform. Okay, from a distance of 100 feet we have the brights on. Plenty of bright light. Excellent. Go to low beam. It's also bright, but the beam rides a bit low to the ground. Let's try a longer distance. From a distance of 300 feet, again, excellent light. Really reaches out there. Low beams, more than adequate, but a bit low to the ground. So if you're driving on backcountry roads, where a moose might be, I turn it back up high. I notice the headlights swivel when taking corners. I believe that's part of that high-tech package they build us for. By the way, we just finished testing this Mazda 6 sedan last week. I've already posted that video. If you want to watch it, we have a link coming up at the end of this CX-5 video. So if the Mazda CX-5 performs well on the road, how does it do off the pavement? Well, it does have two features. First of all, it does have good ground clearance. And if you want more traction, all-wheel drive is available. This doesn't have it, it's front-wheel drive. But as you can see, we have enough ground clearance to drive in these ruts. By the way, if you're wondering what this goop is on the paint, it's car wax. You put it on before you go off-road, you leave it, you don't wipe it off. And if you accidentally run up against some thorn bushes or other things you don't want to, it protects the paint. Then you get back in town, you wash the vehicle, wipe it down, and the paint looks like new. Hey, it works. This is a very rough road with lots of medium-sized rocks, but the suspension is doing a great job of absorbing the bumps. Very impressive. Now, the Mazda CX-5 does have one disadvantage if you're going on roads that have lots of dips. This low cow catcher bumper kind of limits your entry-departure angle, so you got to be careful or it might start scraping on the dirt. Other than that, I really don't see an issue. So here we made it, 60 miles from the nearest civilization. If you're looking for recreational use to go off pavement, the Mazda CX-5 is more than capable, as long as you realize this isn't a Jeep Wrangler or a Land Rover. It is based on a car chassis, so as long as you treat it as such, you'll be just fine. For light duty, no problem. Okay, we're out of here going back to civilization. We're going to get on the freeway and see what the best gas mileage is we can get. And this is a blast to drive on back gravel roads, especially if you have the all-wheel drive system for better traction, which I don't, but it's performing excellent anyway. I'm not complaining. This vehicle really wants to move. And if a cow steps out in front of me, I've got some great brakes. The CX-5 is an excellent highway cruiser. The sporty suspension and excellent steering allow for good stability at high speeds. And while there is a bit of wind noise because of the shape of the body, the crosswinds don't affect it that much. It should be interesting to see what my fuel economy is going to be on this long highway trip. Now, the CX-5 I had last year got 28 miles per gallon on long freeway trips, so I wasn't surprised to find this one got 28 miles per gallon on long freeway trips. If you want to get the 33 mpg listed on the window sticker, you probably can if you drop the speeds down to 60-65 miles per hour. But at 75 miles per hour plus, I think this is pretty much the norm you can expect. Not bad, really. The CX-5 has always been rated one of the best SUVs on the road by the automotive press, and it still is, with more improvements. And the price is right, starting at $22,000. This was loaded up with everything, including the Grand Touring Tech Package at $34,000. Now, for those who appreciate the performance and economy but would rather have a trunk, the same basic vehicle is sold as the Mazda 6 sedan. If you want to watch that video, the link is in the upper hand corner. Also in the Mazda 6 video, we did a complete test on that high-tech package with the radar operated cruise control, radar braking, and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that package, you might want to watch the Mazda 6 video whether you want a sedan or not.